And now we are doing another one. This is a pinhole. This is with the very first homemade pinhole camera I made out of parts of a film box and some additional cardstock, and an idea I got from Tony Warren off similar one he designed, and he put an article on illusive.org. So I had a lot of good success with this. I think it's approximately 60 millimeter. Maybe no, it's a little bit deeper than that. I think it's 75. I've forgotten what it is. I did this about a year and a half ago, and in this series of getting back to my pinholes this winter, I got it out. Almost forgot I made this one because I've been working with the other. Well, I've made like 5, and the other two favorites used a lot. But anyhow, I pulled this one out of late. So I'm trying a pinhole of this particular plant, whatever that is in front of me. You know, how many trees can you photograph? Good God, no. Sorry. Such another story. Anyhow, today I'm doing these sort of very nature-esque things. So we're getting this plant structure. If anybody knows what that name of it is, it's kind of cool. Put it in the comments. I did the one 4x5 image today, which you saw earlier in the video, and I had the pinhole. This is another paper negative. I'm rating it around ISO 3 to 6. This is like I said, a paper negative, and with the calculation of the differential on this camera, which there's a formula to that I'm going to put in the description, because I don't want to try to talk through it, but you essentially get a media reading at the max aperture that you have, and with everything else lined up, then you add the differential to it to produce the hopeful pinhole exposure. So there's our subject. We're in the process of a 30-minute exposure of this puppy, which in this much light, I'm really wondering if it's going to be way overexposed. But I tried one yesterday that I thought was about right, and it came out really underexposed. So I'm going the other way. And stay tuned to the results, whatever they may be at the end. So the other story I'll tell while I'm waiting about another 7 minutes for this really long exposure. This is a 30-minute exposure I'm doing of this particular plant, and maybe what else falls into view, with the first pinhole camera I made about a year and a half ago, which I've been using a little bit more of late. But I made the comment in the last earlier edit that how many trees can you photograph? I've been in this idea for this feeling for this return period of photography that I wanted to do portraits. I wanted to do some street stuff, not necessarily with pinhole, but with just in general. And people are always challenging. Once I was very good at it, but I got out of practice of just, you know, documenting, asking for permission, the whole 9 yards. So I'm inching back into that. I'd sort of like to do pinhole portraits, but you know, to get anybody to sit that long might, although some of the Instax stuff I've been doing also in pinhole, you know, that's quicker. I could get somebody to wait for a second maybe. No, I know I can, because I've done it with some family portraits. So anyhow, that's the story of my reference with how many plants, trees can you photograph. Honestly, they're very beautiful. It's more me and this sort of desire to maybe get back to doing some human subject matter. You know, the other branch back there is interesting. This stuff is really interesting. You know, I was noticing this other plant over here. This one's kind of cool too. But if it wasn't so chilly and I had another piece of paper today, another camera loaded, I think I'd photograph this. Speaking of how many more trees can you do, this was kind of cool. Leaves are pretty sweet. I like those. It's almost like hollenberry or something. I don't know. I'm really ignorant of tree matter, plant matter. So maybe I'll get educated by doing this in terms of the names of all these. Hopefully this paper negative will come out. It's either going to be way overexposed or maybe in the ballpark.